The comedy clubs were great. On my birthday, on the 11th, I did Gotham Comedy Club. And the lineup was a girl called Emma, and forgive me, I forget her surname. She was really good. Andrew Schultz and another guy called Godfrey, who I was talking to Chris Millhouse, who books that show and hosts it. You know the name?
Yeah.
He's been in a lot. You'd know him, like.
Yeah.
But he's apparently one of the best comics in New York. Like, you just...
He's been mentioned on pods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, nigh on unfollowable. And I was... So the show went, host goes up, Emma on first, Schultz on second,
Super.
me on third, and then Godfrey. So I'm sandwiched between... And they were there for Schultz. Like, Chris told me that. He was like, I asked Schultz to do this the other day. We were a bit low on ticket sales. It sold out instantly. That's the pulling power he's got. And I had a really good set. But Schultz did to New York 3 levels above what I can do to Liverpool. And what was amazing about it was watching... He joked about every race in the room, and the room is so diverse. There's black guys, Asian guys, Hispanic guys, white guys, and women of all those denominations as well. And 2 people walked out, 2 middle-class posh white women. This is racist. I want my money back. And they were like, just get the fuck out. And at Gotham Comedy Club, all the door guys, all of them are either ex-police or private detectives. All of them. And Schultz told me this story. He was like, he got a coffee off one of them. And he's like, they're so great in here. He said, see that guy over there, the one who should give me the coffee? He said, I was there a couple of months ago, and there was a guy in who just was ruining the show and refusing to leave. And so 2 of them went over to throw him out. They're like ex-police guys. And the guy pulled a knife out, and really calmly, the policeman went, what you brought that to a gunfight for? And he just put it away. Left.
Different fucking world.
Yeah, it was an experience. I tell you what was really funny. I'm not going to name this guy, but one comic tried to fuck me over there.
Is there?
Yeah. So.
Oh, is it? Right.
So, I very fortunately got some spots at the Comedy Cellar, which is, that's a big thing over there. That's the store.
It's the one.
Yeah, it's the one. And
although Gotham looked unbelievable.
Well, Gotham's a lot bigger.
Wider.
Yeah. Gotham's 300 seater. The Comedy Cellar is 3 of their rooms hold like 70 and one of them holds 140.
And what night's Gotham on?
I did Gotham on the Tuesday.
Right.
And it was full because Schultz was on.
Oh, wow. Is Gotham on every night?
Yeah. They're all open pretty much every night.
Right, yeah. Because why wouldn't you? If you've got a comedy club, just open it all the time. Makes sense.
Especially with those...
If you've got 12 million people that live in and around you, keep them open.
So the first thing that struck me at the Comedy Cellar was the lineup. So I got given 3 spots at the Comedy Cellar. I got given Wednesday, I got given Friday, and Saturday night. And when I say night, I mean night. So Friday night, I was actually on at 12:15 Saturday morning. And Saturday night, I was meant to be on at 10 to 2. Sunday morning. It's a really late show. And all 3 of my spots were supposed to be in the Fat Black Pussycat bar.
Which is upstairs, is it?
It's above the Village Underground, which is round the corner from the original Comedy Cellar. They're all within 30 seconds walking distance, essentially. But the Fat Black Pussycat Lounge is essentially, you're not properly in yet, but we'll book you. Right?
Yeah.
It's like the
under 23s.
Yeah, it's the let's see room. I was there, but you still go and hang out in the Olive Tree bar above the original Comedy Cellar before you go and do your spot. That's where everyone's there. So I go there on the Wednesday, and in that room was Cypher Sounds, who does a lot of work with Dave Chappelle, does a lot of work over here with the likes of Mo Gilligan and Guz Khan. Really, really sound guy. He's a DJ.
He did DJ on stage with Chappelle, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he was great.
So he's there. And the lineup was Dan Soda. Do you know Dan Soda?
Heard of him, Dan Soda.
Phenomenal. Colin Quinn.
Who's like a walking legend, isn't he?
A literal, everyone looks up to him. And not to disrespect Mick Ferry, he's the Mick Ferry of New York. Every comic is like, he's amazing and he helped me a bit and he's got so much stuff, but he's put Netflix specials out and everything.
Have you seen Trainwreck? He plays Amy Schumer's dad in Trainwreck.
Yeah.
And I've heard he gets reference on American podcasts like a true legend, and everyone's got a Colin Quinn impression as well.
Yeah.
Like he's really had an influence on it, and he's still going, still doing it.
Yeah. So you've got Dan Soder, Colin Quinn, Ronnie Cheng, Chris DiStefano.
Chrissy D!
All on one bill.
Right.
Cypher Sounds.
I love Chrissy D.
I was literally sat there like, when was the last time a comedy club in the UK had a lineup like that wasn't a charity gig?
It's just the closest I would imagine is some of the top secret nights that happen that you've talked about, where maybe Jack Whitehall and Sean Walsh and you have been down. Yeah. And it's been the culture
these were all
is
listed.
Totally different.
These were all listed. These were all, it's Wednesday night and I'm at the Cellar. And
you circuit gig in town and you tour in the rest of the country. Is that how they see it?
Essentially.
If you're in New York, that's where you do your bread and butter.
Yeah.
Like Gaffigan goes to Gotham, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I've heard
He was there literally at the show I did. The show I did at Gotham's called Comedy Juice.
Right.
It's run by a guy called Chris Millhouse. He's a comic. He's dead sound. I've met him before and he's the one who put me on. Gaffigan was on the exact week before me.
Yeah. So he's mentioned that. And then he goes and sells 3,000-seater theatres in every other bit of America.
Yeah.
But because he lives in New York, he just nips down to Gotham.
Yeah, you got to. It's their home club. It's where they work their stuff out. It's that sort of thing.
That's so different from here.
Yeah. So that happens on the Wednesday. I did the Fat Black Pussycat Lounge and there was 10 people in on the Wednesday.
Right.
And they were like, that should have been cancelled. And I was like, well, do you know what? For 10 people, they were as nice as 10 people as you can ever get watching stand-up. It felt like doing a Fringe show on a bad day, right? But it was also the 5th of January. So not a lot of people go out in that first week. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, that goes away.
And also COVID's going fucking bananas over there, innit?
Yeah, we'll talk about COVID in a bit. Because it's so weird, the difference in how people behave in New York compared to over here.
Okay, cool.
Like the information people have been given, it's so different.
Right.
Friday night, Fat Black Pussycat bar again, but it's full. And I'm on 12:15 and it was great and I had a really great set and I come off. And all the other comics like, fuck me, you're good. You know what you're doing. But do you know, for me, I had really good sets, but it was quite weird on stage. I was like, it's slightly inconsistent. It wasn't like it was medium. It was big laughs and then a couple of murmurs. And you're like, what is that? Because I'm not used to that at all. And I figured it out. It's because they can't understand every word I'm saying. As much as I'm softening my accent, there's bits there missing and there's little tiny references. Every gig, I was as good as the person who went before me or better. Every gig. And sorry to everyone I followed. But better. I was having good sets. But for me, I was like, that didn't land the way it's supposed to. And it was when I did Gotham and Schultz come up to me after, he was like, that was fucking brilliant. But there's a couple of, he went, you're just a couple of references away from like being completely indistinguishable from what I did. And I was like, well, that's not true.
It's happened to me in New Zealand. You're on stage, everything's going well, and they're better with the accent because mine's softer than yours, and they're more used to English accents because they watch more English TV.
Yeah.
And you'd be going really well, and then you just get to a line that you thought was fucking, you'd say something like, and this isn't, I don't mean this, but crackers or something like, and they have a different name for it.
Yeah.
And then it just, the bit goes, fa-dunk. And you're like, it's the weirdest feeling. It's like you've just stepped in a pothole or something.
It was never on a punchline. It was a couple of the build-up laughs got lost. And that's noticeable when you're used to them being there. But it was still good. So then, on the
were you slowing down as well? Because, like, you're used to playing different places. You're used to playing in the UK where they're like, it's a very strong accent, but were you tuning it down? And
yeah. I naturally do that anyway. The Saturday comes around, right? Me and Sam went to see Chicago, went to a place called the Summit One Vanderbilt, which was like, it's a building that only got finished building last year. And it essentially gives you the same view as the Empire State Building, but you can also see the Empire State Building. So it's sort of competing with, and there's also art installations in there as well. It was fucking great. But then I went home for a nap because I was like, I'm meant to be on stage at 10 to 2 and I'm tired now at 7 o'clock.
Right.
So we went for tea and I think we got back about 9 or 10 and I was like, right, I'll have a couple of hours and then I'll go to work. because
So bizarre.
I just had to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm meant to be on at 1:50 a.m. Got to the cellar at 1. Ordered a coffee and I'm just sat there. And then the show manager for that room comes over and goes, Adam, what are you You're Adam, aren't you? And I was like, yeah. They were like, they've been looking for you around the corner for like 45 minutes. And I was like, what? Why? Like, you're doing the Village Underground, which is the bigger room. It's their biggest room. And I was like, what the fuck? So I checked the sheet and I'd been edited onto it. And I was like, I haven't been told this. So I run around and I check my emails. But because of American Signal and stuff, I'd got the email, but I hadn't got the push notification.
Yep.
So they'd said, we're going to move you from the Fat Black Pussycat room to the Village Underground tonight, the bigger room. You'll be on at 12:20, text to confirm. But I hadn't text to confirm, but they'd still done it. So I'm then late. And all they've done is they've just put every act that was meant to go on after me before me.
And it's forgivable, isn't it?
Yeah, the club was sound about it. Liz, who show runs, so Esty books the Comedy Cellar. Liz, who runs it, was like, yeah, don't worry, I've got your number now. Because I texted and was like, look, I've got your number. I actually already had Liz's number from last time I was there. She just didn't remember me. And I was like, got it. And she's like, yeah, don't worry about it. I'm going to watch you go up. That was after I'd been stood in like the little bar area waiting to go on.
I smell a rat coming. It's exciting.
The show manager comes over, right? And he's like, how's it going? I was like, yeah, it's a bit confused. He went, yeah, don't worry about it. He's like, you're up next. You're going up after him. I was like, great. The guy on was fucking brilliant as well. He just had a really good way on stage. I really enjoyed watching him. I'll tell you a couple of his jokes when we go into the break. The compere then comes over to the guy who's running the show and me with Godfrey. Now, Godfrey he was waiting to go on for later, do you know what I mean? And I watched Godfrey twice, and this guy's a fucking murderer, and he's so sound. I met him twice. He's so sound. But watching him on stage, I was like, what? The compere comes over and goes, he goes,
New York.
What? Yeah. The compere comes over and goes to the show manager, so I'm going to put Godfrey on next, and then him. And the show manager goes, no, he's on next. And he goes, no, he can wait. He can wait. He was late. He can wait. He can wait. And the show manager goes, I don't know about this. He goes, no, I'm putting Godfrey on, and then him. And then Liz comes out and goes, what's going on? Like the actual like manager of the place. And he goes, who's up next? And Liz goes, Adam, and then Godfrey. And he goes, oh, right.
Oh, just throwing his weight around.
And then he went,
but not with the boss. What a cunt.
And he went to me, you understand, right? You understand? You're an entertainer. You were late. You get it. And I went, I know exactly what you were trying to do, mate. Yeah.
You little bitch.
And then he brought me on, and I had a really, really, really good set. And afterwards, he was really nice to me. And he's like, here's my card. Let me know if you ever back out here. And I was like, mate.
Yeah, you're a cunt.
You tried to make me follow who I found out after watching him and listening to other people talk about him, who is widely considered one of the top 3 comics in New York. You tried to make me go on after that guy.
Right.
Because I was a bit late.
Because you're just one of them insecure cunts who doesn't like a name they don't know. Mm-hmm. Basically, and we know those cunts over here are dead sound to people who they think are important or can help them, and really dismissive of anyone that they deem not worthy of their attention. And it is one of the giveaway traits of a cunt, isn't it? And then as soon as you've gone on, it's basically, you've gone on and he's gone, oh, wow, this guy's good. Hey, here's my card.